what we do matters. What we do makes an eternal impact. David would be another one whose life was full of illustrations of this truth. Much of what he did brought great blessing and honor to his household, but his sin also brought tragedy to him and to his household for generations. What we do matters. Again, getting to the New Testament, God will ultimately accomplish what he has purposed and planned in the world with or without our cooperation, but what we do matters. What Philip did certainly mattered to the Ethiopian who found salvation. What Ananias did certainly mattered to Paul. What Peter did certainly mattered to Cornelius and his family. What Barnabas did certainly mattered to John Mark. What Paul and Silas did certainly mattered to the Philippian jailer and his family. What we do matters. What we do makes an eternal impact. What my parents, John and Sally Hershberger, my Sunday school teacher, Wilbur Shetler, my high school English teacher, Beth Gehrig, my pastors, John Ropp, Perry Miller, Alvin Yoder, Fran Overholt, and now Myron Mass. What they have done matters in my life, not to mention many other pastors, including your very own pastor here, Rick. What they have done matters. What they have spoken into my life matters. My wife, my children, hundreds of others that have had an impact on me and have in some way affected how I've gotten to this very place that I'm standing here today. What they have done matters. What you do matters. What you do makes an eternal impact, not only in your life, but on the lives of those around you. So as I close today, I want to broaden that challenge a bit again, as I did before, from individual to us as a church, and specifically to your church. God will ultimately accomplish what he has planned in this community with or without the cooperation of Maranatha Community Fellowship, because he will accomplish what he has planned. However, let that never become an excuse for you as a congregation to disengage from actively pursuing his will and his plan and his purpose, because what you do as a congregation matters. It will have an eternal impact in this person's life, in that person's life, in this person's life, in the community around. If statistics are to be believed, they paint a kind of dismal picture for churches in America. Even though we are considered by most to be a Christian nation, we have one of the highest unchurched populations in the world of any country, just by sheer numbers, partly because of our size. Some would say that if we're not there already, we're well on our way to becoming a post-Christian culture. And it would be easy to wonder, in the grand scheme of things, does it really matter about the existence of this little church here in the middle of the Ohio cornfields? I think it matters. In our culture of materialism and greed, God longs for a church of contentment and generosity. In our culture of immorality, God longs for a church of purity. In our culture of individualism, God longs for a church of true community. In our culture of self-gratification, God longs for a church of self-sacrifice. In our culture of pride and arrogance, God longs for a church of humility and transparency. In our culture of violence and strife, God longs for a church of peace and love. Will Maranatha be that church? You may feel that in relationship to the tremendous need in our community and beyond, Maranatha is small in number and seemingly insignificant. But let me challenge you with the words of Mordecai. Who knows but what Maranatha Community Fellowship has come to the kingdom of God for such a time